everyone has an interesting story.
CJ.
Are you talking about big CJ or little CJ? Both of them.
I don't even know my name no more. They keep calling me handsome.
Remon, a.k.a. Titan of Tat, a.k.a. Mr. I'm so secretive, I don't want nobody to know what I got going on.
We used to be in a boy band together. You know what I'm saying? The Yellow Cats.
Co-conspirator and arms dealer. So,
I don't know. I think he's Tommy, because anytime I pretty much need him, he's available.
He's just been like a driving force, a supporter.
He's quiet. He one of them cats you can call, man. Like say, hey, man, I think he's the biggest drug dealer nobody know about.
On the outside, I had a lot to live for. But on the inside, I was dying slowly. I knew if I didn't make a change, that all of it was going to come to an end. So this is my story.
A work of incredible genius.
Years. Campaign. Busy, all I do is run. When I finish one task, I jump into another one. It seems like I don't ever get a chance to just enjoy myself. I'm always making sacrifices, thinking about somebody else. But tonight I'ma switch it up.
This is something that I did for myself. I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I wasn't trying to get anybody's attention. This was something that I did for myself. You know what I mean? This was about me taking better care of myself. And for the longest time, I've always struggled with that. I've always struggled with, I've always done such a great job of helping other people and taking care of other people and making sure everybody else is good. I haven't always done a good job of taking care of myself and making sure that I was good. You know what I mean? So this was something that was different for me.
So I've known CJ all my life. He's my little brother. We've been thick as thieves forever.
Yeah, so I was always a big kid. I think maybe some point around the first grade is when it started to become noticeable that I was bigger than the other kids. But I was always very active. I played sports. You know what I mean? I did football, I played basketball, I played baseball. I did martial arts. So I think that's why my weight never got too far out of control when I was younger.
I would say we both have gone back and forth weight-wise over the years. So at one point, I remember when he was in high school, he was a little, we've always been husky. So he was a little slimmer in high school. And then over the years, it's kind of gone up and down, always remained like, for the most part, like the husky build. But never really truly noticed that there was a significant weight gain just because of how he wore his clothes. Like you could never tell.
We went to the same high school, but we never hung around each other. I think it wasn't until 2008, after my son passed, that CJ had reached out to the mother of my child because they went to the same school. And through them, I think we kind of sparked a relationship because we had the same interests, film, fashion, and music. And then from there, we ran strong ever since to present day. CJ is always around to give words of wisdom. I know my life, for one, has been like a roller coaster. You know, it's been up and down. He done seen the good and the bad, right? So at every stage of my life, man, he's been there to encourage me. Like, just give me what I need to kind of get over that hump, you feel me?
I think I feel like I anointed him my personal PR at some point. It would be capturing the moments that I wasn't able to capture, and then just having that extra ear of being able to bounce that idea off someone, and then having an unbiased opinion, unbiased response by someone who's in the room, but not so caught up in what's happening that you can't have a clear assessment. So it was always that ear that I trust, like, okay, he's gonna give me proper perspective, and he's not just gonna say something to placate my ego.
So we met doing radio, the Vincent Tucker radio show. So that was what, 2011? So we've been knowing each other since then. It started out as co-workers on the radio show, and then it just kind of evolved from there. He's pretty much like a brother to me now. We talk all the time, more. We do everything, business, relationships. I'm sure I'd probably drive him all the way crazy. I'm always calling him for something, but that's just his role in my life. He's like my little relationship man guru. I know I can get advice from him from a non-biased place, let's just say that.
CJ, man, that's my guy, man. All love, bro. I believe I met him with Q. Had him come out and film a couple things with me. Found out, you know, of course, we was Libra brothers. Just a great all-around person, man. You don't meet many cats that's very genuine like that. It's hard to find cats like that in this game, man. So, you know, I think just God put people in your life for a reason.
My relationship with CJ is friend that turned into family, and always been like my #1 supporter. Been me from the start, literally, of my career, since 2013, my very first in the spotlight. Took me to the Vincent Tucker radio show, and has just been on the path upward with me, and I'm so appreciative and so grateful. I just love him so much.
I think I started having health problems sometime around like 2008. I spent like a week in the hospital because my legs were swollen. They thought it might have been like a blood clot or something. So they ran all these tests and wasn't seeing anything, so they released me. And then after I got out of the hospital, the next month, my face started swelling up. I went to sleep one night and, you know, my face looked completely normal. And when I woke up the next morning, like my face looked like Professor Clump. So I went to go see a doctor about the facial swelling, and he thought it might have been like something wrong with my allergies or something like that. I started feeling super drained, started feeling super fatigued, felt like I had no energy. I think I put on something like an extra 75 pounds.
I mean, I think over the years, I kind of saw weight picking up a little bit more, but I really wasn't too concerned with it. For me, I think, or for anyone, I think that's kind of like normal, right? We make that a normal, even though it isn't. So I can't really say I had a real concern about it, which maybe I should have. But yeah, I did see weight pick up just a little bit, right?
When I first met CJ, he was larger. But I didn't think nothing of it because I had always known him since I met him, I've always known him to be, on the heavier side.
I knew he was going through something, but I wasn't for sure what it was to the extent. And when I say because when we were talking, he was just like, hey, I'm tired. Like, he was always kind of very vague and nonchalant, but that's how he is with everything. So did I notice? Yes, but was I concerned? Not so much, because he was so nonchalant. So as long as he was good, then I was good.
Over the next year, I was in and out of the hospital, in and out of the doctor's office, going to see a bunch of different specialists, and none of them could figure it out. None of them knew what was going on. None of them could pinpoint what the problem was. I went to go see an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he was like, well, whatever's causing the facial swelling, it's not your allergies. Then, eventually I went to go see a thyroid specialist. She ran some tests and she was like, well, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid. Then she said, well, all these different doctors that you've gone to, have any of them ever done a urinalysis on you? I said, no. She said, well, we're gonna try that. When the results came back, she told me that I was losing protein and blood in my urine. So she said it's definitely your kidneys. So I went to go see a nephrologist. I had to go in and do a biopsy. When the results from the biopsy came back, the doctor told me that I had FSGS, which is focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. So basically how your kidneys work is, your kidneys are responsible for filtering out your waste from your bloodstream. The filters on my kidneys had like some scar tissue, so it wasn't filtering things out properly. So waste was staying on my bloodstream. A bunch of waste and a bunch of fluid was staying on my bloodstream and going throughout the rest of my body, which was causing the swelling, and the protein was leaving out throughout the waste. So it's a scary thing when, your doctor tells you to have a chronic disease that there's no cure for. He told me that they can treat it, but it was likely that I was going to end up going into kidney failure. Early on, they had me on like 5 different medications. At one point, I think I was taking like 10 pills a day. It was crazy. All these medications, they have different side effects. Sometimes the side effects from the medication is almost as bad as the symptoms from the disease. You know what I mean? So when I wasn't feeling the symptoms from the disease, I was fighting the side effects from the medication. So it was like my body wasn't getting any rest. It was constantly fighting something.
I don't really truly understand like what the kidney disease was, and so I didn't know what it was impacting internally. But yeah, I can definitely tell from a physical standpoint, lack of energy, like the sleeping and things like that, not being able to sleep because of the steroids. Like, I think those were sort of secondary and tertiary effects of just impacts of the kidney disease itself.
I was definitely aware of a kidney disease. I was never really aware to the extent, just because, Remon takes everything the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see him, nothing's really that different. I know if he says something, it's serious. But if he doesn't say anything, I assume that he has it under control. But you check on your people.
I think I hid it pretty well. Most people had no idea how much pain I was in and how much of a struggle it was just for me to get through the day at times. Only close friends and family knew about it. You know what I mean? And even them, I wouldn't talk about it too much, just because you don't want people worried about you. You just kind of thug it out, and as best you can, you know what I mean?
Now, knowing what I know about him now and knowing the condition that he was possibly in, I'm like, I think if I had to take a take on it, I would say his nonchalantness was not because, I don't want people in my quote unquote business. It was more so like, I don't want people worried about me, or I don't want people like giving me special treatment or feeling like they have to do for me, because, he's very strong, very private, so I think if anything, he didn't really allow us into that part of the struggle out of love for us.
Anything with a black man, men period, but mostly black men, we hold stuff in a whole lot, and we don't make it put on Front Street, man, especially cats that really don't seek attention like that.
My weight just kept fluctuating, kept going up and down over the years. I tried to lose weight before but I would always gain it back. You know what I mean? I would lose, 45 pounds here and then gain it back, 90 pounds there and then gain it back, 20 pounds here and there. You know what I mean? Like, it just kept going up and down over the years. So I was cool with being a big dude. You know what I mean? It didn't bother me. It didn't affect my self-esteem or my confidence in any way.
CJ always had like this, you know what I'm saying, this self-confidence, right? And if he didn't, he did a real good job of hiding it.
Being around him, he's always been the same person, and that person has always radiated life and light and love and good vibes and good energies.
No matter what he's going through, the confidence never truly like suffered externally to people, because nature manifested into always wanting to serve and make other people feel better, and so it's never about him.
Hey man, what's up? It's that young man Remon representing the Urban Advocate. You know what I'm saying? We out here for the 5th annual My Brothers Keeping Dallas Feed the Homeless Drive. Man, it's been an awesome event, man. Everybody that showed up, we're feeding them, we're clothing them, we got care packages for them, man. It was just an awesome event. I love doing this every year.
I think the kidney disease and the side effects from the medication, I think those things had more of an impact on my confidence than my actual weight did. Even though I don't think the weight caused the kidney disease, I don't think it was helping either. You know what I mean? It was making things hard for my body to fight. So I always believed that if I could get my weight under control, that I would probably give my body a better chance of fighting this disease. I know sometimes I'd be out at like the grocery store or something like that, and I see people who are struggling with obesity, and I see them just having trouble getting around. You know what I mean? Like having trouble moving around, doing normal activities. And I always told myself that, even though I was okay with being a big guy, I never wanted to allow myself to get that bad. And I don't judge those people, because you never know, why they're struggling with their weight. You never know why they're struggling with obesity. You know what I mean? Just the same way people didn't know why I was struggling with it. So I don't look down on those people. I don't judge those people. I just knew that I didn't want to be one of them. So I had to go to the doctor it was early, I think January 2021. I had to go to a doctor. At that point, we were still in the midst of COVID, and we were still in the midst of quarantine. So, I just wanted to go get checked out, make sure it wasn't COVID. And it turned out it wasn't. But I remember stepping on the scale, and I saw a number that made me very uncomfortable. I was actually pretty embarrassed by it, you know what I mean? I didn't even want the nurse to see it. The scale said that I would weigh 375 pounds. I remember sitting in the little room waiting on the doctor to come in, and that number just kept playing in my head, 375, 375, 375. Like, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. At that moment, I had to give myself a reality check. Like, yo, dude, you say you don't want to end up like those people you see at the grocery store having trouble moving around. You say you don't want to end up like them, but if you keep going in the direction you're going in, you on your way there. So if that's not what you want, you know what you got to do, right? So that was the day that I made the decision to get my weight under control. How did I lose the weight? So I started making like little tweaks to my eating habits. I started tracking my calories. I started tracking my meals and how many calories I was taking in. I started intermittent fasting. I didn't really have to give up anything. Like, I still eat a lot of the foods that I enjoy eating. I think the biggest difference now is just that I don't eat them every day. It's about portion control and moderation. As far as exercise, man, I started out just walking. And then I went and bought like an exercise bike so that I could get some cardio in. My brother pretty much has like a full weight room in his garage. So I started going out there like twice a week and just getting some resistance training in, some weight training in.
4 more years. Campaign. Every beat gets stretched. Y'all seen. I never wave my trade clause for y'all team. Your jersey's ugly and your stadium trash. Wouldn't even come out of the tunnel for your uncultured. Here's the truth. When Buddy put the work in, he certainly surfing the surface. Perfect. Riding with a redhead Indian to Tonka. And off that green, she electric, Blanca. It stuns me when we kick it like Chun-Li, that she don't mind getting power driven like Zhang Yi. I do not entertain beef. You're an impossible whopper. You should consult with a doctor. Adding medio diet to be the source of your troubles. Your stress level gon' skyrocket. Your stomach gon' bubble. So before you need some Pepto, you should put some pep in your step and just step to the left, bro.
Like, I was talking to my brother and I was telling him, you know, how happy I was that he got pretty much like a whole weight room in his garage, because there's too many distractions at the gym, you know what I mean? You got people, you know, people be acting crazy in there. You got people trying to strike up conversations, which was trying to talk to you. You got people in the mirror taking pictures and all kind of stuff. So I don't like to deal with no distractions. There ain't nothing in here but iron and just hard work. That's it. Because I took martial arts as a kid, I was always interested in like combat training. I was always interested in like fight training and stuff like that. So I always wanted to get back into it. But because of my legs, you know, being swollen and because of things like that, kicking was pretty much out of the question. So, but I was like, yo, ain't nothing wrong with my hands. So I started getting into boxing. I went and bought me a heavy bag. And I started doing heavy bag training a couple times a week.
Jordan 6's on Ken, Ryu, Tatsumaki Sengu, Ryu, been cutting up like Vega, Sid Sager, Tiger knee to the beat till you catch vapors. Mike Tyson meets M. Bison, meets Ivan, Drago, Space Hyphen, earrings, Balboa in the light, Bell rocking for attention by decision, win the fight. So win, lose, or draw, I don't lose at all. 100 hand slap, rap style, no flaw. You ain't got the guy of the guard. You get Thunderhawk when the DJ spin. I open up the vault.
I'm not like training to get in the ring or anything like that. I'm not training to be a professional boxer or even an amateur boxer. You know what I mean? It's just fun for me. It's a fun way of exercising. It breaks up the monotony of going to the weight room. It's also like a good way of blowing off steam. I enjoy it, man. It's almost become like a new hobby for me. So thanks to the lifestyle changes that I've made, I've lost 195 pounds. I pretty much had to empty out my whole closet. I've had to start my wardrobe from scratch, which I think some people was happy about. Some people's probably happy about that. So I went from wearing like a 5XL shirt to a large. I went from a 48 in the waist to a 34.
When he started to lose weight, I saw him on a Tuesday, 1 week. That Friday, all his weight was gone.
She don't expanded on the book.
I was taking your friend. I was talking. You know, I know him. I know CJ.
Hey, she down there with these goddamn Jada Pinkett Men's Society brand and holding this nigga hostage and shit down there. Nigga, see how when niggas lose weight, they can get to acting funny and shit. Nigga got slim.
You know what? He did.
Nigga be thumping burgers away and
That's
shit.
what happened.
Nigga got slim. The nigga here, man. That nigga, hey dog, that nigga was all three of the fat boys at one point. Nigga.
No, he wasn't.
That nigga got slim.
No, he wasn't.
That nigga was human beatbox.
No. No, don't say that.
Shit,
Look, I'm not agreeing.
I am. My nigga look good. I told him
You know, while I was in the midst of the body transformation, I took a bit of a hiatus from social media, so most people haven't seen me. I've been out of the public eye for almost 2 years at this point, and so it's funny, you know, watching people's reaction when they see me again for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, I've had people walk right by me and not recognize me.
I was like, yo, who is this? I mean, I've seen a lot of people try to lose weight and not do it the right way. I think for CJ, he did it in a way that kind of showed, it kind of showed you that he was serious about it. You know what I mean? Taking charge of the situation. So when I saw it, I was blown away.
Man, I said he done drove by a whole bunch of Whataburgers. He been drinking smoothies. Is he sick?
I went overseas. I was filming a TV show, and I was like trying to catch up with him. And I say, okay, we gonna link up. I said, no matter what, we're gonna clear these schedules. It's not no work, it's ain't no business. Like, let's see how each other living. And when I saw him, I was like, what? He looked so good, and I could feel that he felt good. But I was firstly happy for him. Secondly, I was just like, you need to write a book. Tell people how you did this.
Whoa, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Because he did tell me, hey, I'm working out and I've lost a lot of weight. I think it may have been maybe a year because we were coming out of COVID. So I think that was another thing. It was the fact that I hadn't seen him in a long time. And then when I did see him, I was like, wait a minute, you my size? Because I remember. But it was like one of those things of like, oh, like, wow. Like, that's a different type of weight loss. Because it wasn't one of those things where, I mean, you could tell he was obviously dedicated. It was such a dramatic change that you could tell it was more than just working out. It was more than just eating. It's a lifestyle change. It's a whole mindset change.
The healthier lifestyle choices, getting more rest, changing the diet, being active, different things like that. So you can definitely notice it's not like an all at once thing. Because, you know, sometimes in our community, you see an all at once change. You start thinking, are they okay or have they developed a habit?
So this is the real deal, right? So we kind of watched the whole evolution.
Yeah,
Remon.
It's been a few months since we've seen him. Right. I remember the last time I saw you, you had lost quite a bit of weight, and I was like, man, you look great.
Yeah, the first time, like, he had already lost like close to 100 pounds.
I think you're right at 100 at that point.
Since then, it's just been a drastic change. I mean, like muscle definition.
Well,
like you can tell.
You just look so healthy.
Yeah.
A lot of times when people lose huge amount of weight, they look unhealthy.
Right.
And it's like, you look great. You look like this is how you've always been. If someone met you today, they'd be like, they would never believe that you were as big as you were.
And the thing for me was like as soon as I saw you, it was like proud.
Absolutely.
It was like motivation.
I'm motivated.
It's like all these words like are coming to my head. It was like beyond just like, oh man, you lost weight.
No, it was inspiring.
It was inspiring.
It's
it was
truly
like
inspiring.
Immediately just a reaction. It was like almost an emotional reaction. It was like, oh my God, my man ain't playing no games.
Zero game.
He surpassed me on the arms. And so like the cut and definition in his arms, like he's more confident wearing like sleeveless sort of hookups.
He done went from the Fat Boys, all three of them, to I'll Be Sure, the first album, in effect mode.
I'm happy to be back, man. That's what I posted on a lot of the posts, man. And Kev was like, I'm on my way. CJ was like, he said, man, I got 2 more pounds to lose. And,
CJ been dropping it, man.
CJ, dog. And he getting buffed now too, dog. I see you, boy. Looking like an R&B cover. Look at his arm. Look how he holding his arm. He flexing his arm now, boy. Hey, even his stocking cap got muscles in it.
I still, to this day, can't believe it. Whenever I see him, it's like, yo, this is not the same dude I went to high school with, right? So, yeah, it's crazy.
The thing about, I think people don't notice or realize, like when you lose weight, you shed a certain image that people have of you. So you're not always recognizable. Not that it's a bad or a good thing, it's just a new light. It's kind of like a metamorphosis.
It's like almost that caterpillar going through the caterpillar stage and you transformed and now you're the beautiful butterfly.
And I think the best part about this whole thing is that I went to go see my nephrologist a couple of months ago, and he told me that my kidney disease is in remission. Went to go do my blood work and all my numbers came back normal. So he's taking me off of the medication, which I'm so excited about. You know what I mean? Like I can't even put into words how excited I am about the fact that I don't have to take that medication anymore.
It boosts you to want to do better. It's like, okay, he's putting in the work and he's reversing, whatever was going on at the time. That means it's possible for you and whoever else. So it's motivation to keep doing what you're doing, stay on the right path. It helps you lock in and say, okay, it's possible because it's happening for someone else. So if you just stick with it, you'll be in a better situation.
So we going on 15 years at this point of me dealing with this kidney disease, and no kidney failure, no dialysis, no talks of a transplant. Again, I always believed that if I got my weight under control, that I would give my body a better chance of fighting the kidney disease. And I was right. I was right. My weight loss, it wasn't really about me looking better, it was about me being better. It was about me being a better version of myself. I'm always striving to be the best version of myself. And I knew that there was no way that I was the best version of myself at 375 pounds. I wasn't the best version of myself at 300 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, or anywhere near that. So I honestly feel like in order for me to be the best version of myself, the weight had to come down. The weight had to go.
I would definitely say that this is much needed for him. You feel me? I'm glad that he took this step to take charge and change. You know what I mean? For the better. I think that he's gonna open up a lot of people's eyes, right? As far as what can be done and what should be done in order to preserve, you know what I mean? Life, man. Life is important. It's precious. And the older we get, bodies just don't work the same. You know what I mean? So I think that he's gonna be to other people what he is to me. You know what I mean? That's kind of like a motivator example of what it should look like, right?
You know, I hope that my story can help somebody out there. Maybe there's somebody out there that's struggling with a disease, you know what I mean? And they need a little bit of motivation and a little bit of inspiration to help them keep fighting. Maybe there's somebody out there that's struggling with obesity and struggling with weight loss, and they just need a little inspiration. I'm hoping that my story can help these people as I've been able to do it. You know what I mean? If I can do it, and again, I know this is cliche, but if I can do it, you can too.
Moving forward, I don't think CJ is gonna have any issues. I think he's gonna have an even more prosperous life. I think he's gonna get everything that he wants if he desires it. I think he's created a longer life for himself. CJ saved himself without realizing that he was saving himself.
Quality of life, I would assume, is gonna be positively impacted by it. You want the best for the people that are around you. If you're the type of friend and type of family member you should be to them, you want to see them progress. You want to see them live their best life, essentially. So you want to see them in Lil Duval mode.
This journey is something that's going to help me on a personal level. It's going to help me professionally. It's going to help me creatively. And I'm looking forward to what's next in my life. I'm so looking forward to it. I think my best years are ahead of me at this point.
I'm excited because he just gave himself new fuel. And he was already a powerful gentleman, and he was always, I say he's an old spirit. Like he's a little bit ahead of his time because he's whatever age he is, but he's probably like add 30 years to that, wisdom wise, which is a good thing for him. That's why I'm excited, because I know when God blesses him, he's just gonna be that much more ready because he's a good guy. But now you have a good guy that's a little bit more determined. He has a different belief in himself because of the journey that he's gone through.
I think he's gonna be an asshole. I think he's just gonna be an asshole from now on. I think he's not gonna no longer be reachable. You know, he don't return my texts as often as he used to. You know, he got a little funny style. You know, you get small, you get funny, you get to acting funny. I see a lot of stuff in him a lot of cats don't see. And I'm a firm believer that God has given me a gift to find or to see gifted people. I think he has a bright future.
While the weight has been lifted off physically, there is like a mental weight that's also been lifted. And so now mentally, I would say that he's on autopilot in the sense that like he knows what worked for him. He is completely dialed in to where he can see his weight. So I would say that it's both physical and mental, but it's just like a lightning, pardon the pun, but of all aspects.
I think with this weight loss and with this newfound health journey, I think I've given myself a new life, both figuratively and literally. This is a new beginning for me. You know what I mean? Word.
Step back, push back, don't wanna feel it. Get lost, caught up in the feeling. And the times I'm feeling myself. Can't vibe with anyone else. Can't lie, can't find any meaning. Don't know why it's there, but I can't see it. Show me how it should feel, so I know that it's real. Lay my defenses down when no one is around, and I know how it sounds. You think I'm crazy, and when the fear is gone, then I will be reborn. I know it to my core. You think I'm crazy. I really, really, really wanna leave here, but I just can't leave it like that. I really, really, really wanna be here, but I just can't say it like that. And I know I am running, I know I am running, I know I am running out of time. I really, really, really wanna leave here, but I just can't leave it like that. And I know I am running out of time. Are you saying the feelings you felt came from somewhere outside of yourself? Are you playing like everyone else? Are you playing like everyone else? Lay my defenses down when no one is around, and I know how it sounds. You think I'm crazy.